Hey, have you ever walked into a bank, but not for a deposit or withdrawal, but to ask for a loan and it totally felt out of place? Like, it felt like imposter syndrome, right? Because you're clueless. Because if you're clueless, as an example, if you are, how can you even negotiate a deal with the lender at the end? Imagine if before you walked into the door, you could know exactly what lenders want so that you can have confidence to negotiate with them. But most importantly, you would be able to know which lender to go to, not to waste your time. Do not imagine it. You'll know exactly how to do that by the end of this video. Let's get into it. So the easy way to approach it, let's approach the lender like a regular human being. Let's pretend it's a normal human introduction, right? We're gonna use the regular questions from that interaction. Who, what, why, and how. You might be asking yourself, what the hell am I talking about, right? Let's get into it. First, who? Who are you? In the eyes of a lender, that means the credit score. That means who are you as a person in society? So the rule of thumb, banks, they only service people who have good to perfect credit. So the rule of thumb is if you have 680 plus credit, you can go to the bank. But if you have less than 680, go to a private lender. The second question is what? From a regular conversation, meaning what do you do? So in the eyes of the lender, that means what is your industry and how long have you been in business for? So the rule of thumb, the takeaway from that is if you've been in business for less than 2 years, forget the bank, go to a private lender. Now, the third question is why? Why are you here? Meaning that in the eyes of a lender, that means use of funds. Meaning, why do you need the money for? Is it for equipment? Is it for different things? Why do you need the money for? Now, here's the thing. Banks, they do loans or lines of credit. They're for general stuff. You'll be one loan for everything. So let's take an example. When you go to the doctor, you have the generalist, the family doctor, but when you have something more specific, you have specialized doctors, right? Like a lung doctor, brain surgeon, etc. Banks are like the generalist, like the family physicians, while the private lenders are more like the specialists. So if you need general funding, money for everything, yeah, go to the bank. But if you need something specific, like for equipment financing or for account receivable, you need to go to a private lender. Let me give you an example. For people who are in real estate, right? Flippers. People do fix and flip. That means that they purchase a house, they fix it, and then they sell it for a profit, right? Now, if you go to the bank can only give you money to buy the house. Whereas if you go to a private lender, they will give you money not only to buy the house, but also to repair the house. Whereas the bank, you need to find your own money to repair the house. You see, they're specialists in their field. The bank is a generalist. So yeah, so that's the takeaway from that. Now the next question, how? Meaning, how do you do you? How do you do your business? In the eyes of the lender, that means cash flow. That is the most important aspect, by the way. Your cash flow will determine if you can get funded or not. So as an example, first thing, how much money do you keep at the end of the day? What is your balance at the end of the day? Because if you have negative balance, maybe you cannot afford a loan. The amount of cash you keep at the end of the day is the amount of loan that you can afford. That is super important. I would say if you have less than $5,000 on average as your ending balance, you can go to the bank. If you do not have that, do not go to the bank. Okay, that's the takeaway from that. Second, your amount of deposits, meaning that you need to show that you have many deposits. You might be asking yourself, why is that important, the amount of deposits? Like if I like big deposits and then big balance at the end of the day, I'm good, right? No. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have two business owners making $100 a month. All right? So you have business owner A, he has one guy paying him $100 a month. All right? One client. And then you have business owner B, he has 10 clients, each paying him $10. So at the end of the day, 10 by 10 is $100, right? So here's why it's important. Because the one who has one guy paying him, if this guy doesn't pay him that month, he's screwed. Lenders will not get their money back. Whereas the other guy can have 5 people not paying him, he will still get $50 at the end of the month, and then he will be able to pay. So that is super important. So if you have less than 10 deposits a month, go to a private lender. If you have more than that, consider the bank. The bank is always the cheapest option. Now, ask yourself, would funding help your business? But most importantly, would getting funding make you make more money? Would funding make you have more confidence as a business person? Imagine if you could apply for funding in 5 minutes, and then you would get consultation regarding the best route for your funding, plus get presented to over 85 lenders and actually get funded. Do not imagine it. Just go to Zoryn.com, or I put also a link for you for a funding application. 5 minutes. That's it. Also, do you think that you need to learn more about business funding? Do you think that would actually help you? If you do, I put a link right here for you to learn more about business funding, for you to be smarter, more confident, and negotiate deals better. Cheers!